Hey guys, and welcome back to Oversky Deck Pilot. This week, I'm going to take a look at something a bit more familiar, and that is Green Red Crackthorn. Now, Green Red Crackthorn did fall off during the release of the Oversky cards, but I picked it back up recently and have performed exceptionally well with this list. The only thing that's really changed is we've added crystal flowers from the Oversky expansion, but much of it remains the same. There's no more Grove Caller. Horsemaster is the preferred form of mobility since it requires no special lands, and we don't see Runin in this list anymore either. We're kind of looking for really strong early game and be able to finish off our opponent in the mid game. Like I said, I've been performing very well with this list. I've hit top 10 god rank, and I'm currently climbing with another account. So let's get into some matches and see how this deck performs. Alright guys, into our first match. As you can see here, things may not look the same. We have Aquablud at rank 6. So I've been playing on a new account. I say new loosely. It's an account I made a long time ago. I played about 20 hours on it, and this was long before the game came out as a full release. And yeah, I decided to revisit this account and play through ladder again. I've hit god rank. I've hit top 10. I was like, well, I have another account, so perhaps I can just get that up as well and see if we can get god rank again. So this Crackthorn list is identical to the one from Deck Doctor. I was fortunate enough to have a lot of memory and a lot of gold from when I played on it previously. And this is a complete free-to-play account. And we have a Mace Man, the challenger of the Wood Elemental. So this is a little dangerous for me because, I mean, he could use Flash Wind. So I'm probably gonna have to drop the Elderwood Embrace here just to protect my Wood Elemental. Now, I know you guys wanted something maybe like a Gemshell Tortoise deck for Deck Doctor, but the problem is I haven't found one that I think's consistent enough or refined enough to put into a Deck Doctor. And I played this Crackthorn list up to top 10 god, and now I'm playing it to get to god rank again on my alternate account. So I will be investigating the newer archetypes with the newer cards like Gemshell Tortoise in the future, but I figured some players might want something quite solid, something quite familiar, which they can start climbing the ladder with until these new cards really have an impact on the metagame. So I'm going to move up here. I'm going to get another special land down. Could go for a forest, actually. No. Okay, so we're gonna chuck a special land here, and then I'm going to dash this Sagami Warrior behind my Wood Elemental, and then we're going to Crystal Flower the Charger. So the Charger is an incredibly threatening creature. It could easily kill my Wood Elemental with a couple of events. So we could have a Flash Wind Soul Drain. That's my Wood Elemental dead, and the Mace Man's gonna live. Choking Sands on this is fine. That's a one Faeria. That's one Faeria value for me. And I only played it really to make sure that if he did Nightmare this, I still had a creature remaining to have some influence. Now, unfortunately, I can't play Cypher. That's really sad. So I will take a draw. We pick up the Axe Grinder, so we'll take care of the Mace Man. And we'll just slot the Axe Grinder in here. So we're trying to make it awkward for our opponent to Wind Soldier. I mean, Wind Soldier around the Wood Elemental. He could just clear and Wind Soldier, but unless a desert is made here, he's not going to collect any Faeria off this well. I'm kind of hoping I do keep a Collector, because if I keep a Collector, I'm guaranteed to get Cypher down next turn, but might just see that Wind Soldier come down here and reset the board. But I will have initiative. So if I pick up an Axe Grinder, or if I pick up another Sagami Warrior, another Wood Elemental, I'll just be the one on board first, and then I'm able to react to my opponent and be proactive with how I play, whereas my opponent will remain playing reactive. And that's really important when it comes to playing a deck like Crackthorn or Yellow Tempo. You want to be the proactive player. You don't want to be the reactive player. Because when you invest in Faeria into responding to your opponent, you're actually not applying pressure. because you haven't gained initiative. And initiative is very important when it comes to these aggressive style decks. And that is a fantastic line for me to deal with. Because now I can move, I can collect. I might even draw at this point. I can't play Cypher again. I'm going to Cypher's Wrath. Another Axe Grinder, that's pretty good. So if a Wind Soldier was to come down, I now have an additional Axe Grinder to collect Faeria. I can double collect, and then I can maybe develop that mountain finally and get Cypher, the Blood Tyrant, down. So, and there's a lot of lands coming from Faeria. You don't really need all these lands as a yellow tempo player. He was actually better off just developing neutrals down this way and going for the Fanatic on this side. And we have it, Cypher coming down. One more special land required for the Crackthorn. Now, some of you might be wondering why there isn't an Emerald Salamander in this deck, and the main reason is I just don't rate the card at all. I don't really think much of it. I think it's quite bad, actually. It just doesn't do enough for 6 Faeria for me. Now, there may be some builds that take advantage of that card and do a lot with it, but I personally haven't found any desire to want to play that card. Right, double neutral. Sadly, we're going to miss a Faeria here because we are going to go for the Horsemaster. I'm going to use this to clear out the Mace Man, take a hit to the Orb, and then line this guy up as well. So we are in lethal range with a Flame Burst. So again, our opponent just goes for the Nightmare. Gonna push 4 damage. Doesn't really do much because Faeria isn't being collected. I am double collecting. Get a hit again for 4, and then I get to play another Axe Grinder, and then I have lethal for the next turn. It's more likely for me to win this match from this position than it is for my opponent. So let's take a draw. Still in a pretty good spot. And take our last forest. We'll take it here. We'll take an Axe Grinder. And that should be it. I can't really see a way my opponent can come back from this. I mean, he could Wind Soldier the 4-3, I suppose. Or just block me. But the Cypher's Wrath is now going to allow me to finish the game, and that's going to be the first match. So this is what I love about Crackthorn. It's just so consistent at what it wants to do. It just applies a lot of early pressure, takes control of the wells, can deal damage from hand, and quite easily finish off your opponent. So, yep, Cypher's Wrath, gonna clean up house here, and bam, there we have it. And that was a win. So if, let's just say for argument's sake, the Manta Rider didn't come down, and there was another creature, I could still have created land, hit the Charger, then Cypher's Wrath that, and then finish my opponent off with the Axe Grinder. So I had an alternate line to find me lethal during that turn. Alright, into our next match. This one will take me up to rank 5, that good old checkpoint. So we have 2 turn 1 plays. I'm actually going to throw these 2. I'm going to keep the Sagami Warrior, see if we can get anything bulkier. Oh, wow. We have all the early game plays. We now have Wood Elemental as well. Mountain at the start is really good because this can allow me to play a little more aggressively with the Wood Elemental. Because now I can go like Mountain. And I don't really mind that with this version of Crackthorn because you have your Sagami Warriors that can dash onto mountains from this forest position. Oh, okay, it's going to be some form of burn. I'm actually going to play a lot more aggressively. Oh, that was a bit of a mistake from me. I think I'll take Forest. I'll take Forest, and we'll go for the Sagami here. So what I could have done instead of moving, I could have made a mountain, and then I could have dashed the Sagami Warrior onto the mountain, then moved the Wood Elemental up. But here I'm not giving too much of my game plan away. My opponent could just assume... Oh my gosh. My opponent could just assume that I'm playing mono green. Alright, so I kind of didn't need that forest. I should have maybe went for the Maybe I should have went for the mountain after all. I have way too many forests. But look at this! I'm already, like, right next to my opponent's orb, and I have tons of creatures. He's just gonna pass. That's excellent for me. So we're gonna go in, move everything up. And we're just gonna hit. We're not gonna use the Elderwood just yet. I'd rather see what removal comes down first, and then I can use my Elderwood Embrace to push some damage. And here we're not really contested. Our opponent hasn't played anything in 4 turns. Takes a draw, sitting on a lot of Faeria. This might be red, yellow, burn. Nope, that's a Grimguard. Gift of Steel. Yep. Oh, Crackles. Good old Crackles. All right. What's he going to do for us? Oh, we can actually Elderwood as well. So the only sad thing about Crackthorn here is that we have a lot of distribution. But I'm going to gamble. I'm happy to take this gamble. Let's see where it goes. All the good places. I mean, that moves this along. Take the Elderwood. And then we have it. We've almost won. This is the beauty of Crackthorn, guys. I love this list. It's just so fast. And there we have it. Victory, taking us all the way to rank 5. On that win streak still from last time I played. I started at rank 25 with this and this account, and I tried to get from rank 15 to 5 in 4 hours, but I ended up missing it by 1 game in the end. And I believe I went from rank 25 to 15 in about an hour and a half. Because I did it halfway through one of my streams, but we're at rank 5 now. Let's carry on. Maybe, if we win fast enough, we'll get all the way to God rank. Let's take a look and get into our next game. Our next match is going to be a run back with Fos, who is playing yellow at tempo. So we do have a good idea. Oh, this actually might be quite useful. We have a good idea of what we're going up against unless the deck has been changed. We don't have as much as a solid opener as we did last time. But the Axe Grinder will be handy in challenging any Mace Men. Now, I'm curious to see if Fos decides to go to the right and just completely dodge me. Oh, no, it is a change in deck. So I did keep the Cypher's Wrath for any kind of Sagami. Any Origin Fanatics. But it's actually going to be kind of sad now. So no Wood Elemental this turn. But no Flame Burst from our opponent either. So this Axe Grinder should live. And I'm curious to see if Fos is playing my list or playing mono green. Now, you might be wondering, if we are playing the same list, why has Fos gone from the center and why have I gone from the side? Now, the reason I prefer the side with Crackthorn, especially if you're running Horse Masters, is because it's a clean line straight up. I really appreciate that when it comes to playing Crackthorn. So that is the main reason. I'm going to move this up. We have the Wood Elemental sitting in the back. We can go here, and then we're going to have our opponent probably just make a land here. Actually, I'm going to Crystal Flower now. I'm going to Crystal Flower. Yeah, I'm going to Crystal Flower this. Let's protect the Axe Grinder. So now I'm giving my opponent a choice. Do you make a special land here to collect with your Wood Elemental, or do you stop me getting the Axe Grinder spot? Or do double neutral? Goes for the double neutral instead, so I'm slowing down that special land generation. I still don't know what this deck is, but I'm just assuming it's Crackthorn. Alright, let's move up. And then we can get Cypher down as well. So now we have a lot of creatures on the left side. Basically, the left side belongs to me. And I'm going to push up and play probably another mountain here, then get my last forest here. So it is Crackthorn. Oh, gonna give it to me. I mean, I could go for Forest Sagami. That is an option, but yeah, let's take the aggro mountain, and then we can pass on that. So now I want to pick up a Horsemaster. It'll allow me to push damage, or maybe even challenge any creatures that show up. The Cypher. And there's an Axe Grinder. Oh, Grappling Hook would be beautiful right now. This is kind of dangerous, because if I pick up a Flame Burst, I'm going to be in a crazy position. Let's take a draw. Pick up Crackthorn. That's fine. Then we're just going to cover our opponent's lands, and then we'll pass. So as far as things go, unless there's a Horsemaster on the Axe Grinder, I'm going to be the first player to push damage. But it looks like Fos is actually going to develop a land here to defend. You might see a Flame Burst come down or a Cypher's Wrath. And there's the Sagami Warrior showing up as well. Crystal Flower on the Wood Elemental. So we can kill this. But we also have Crackthorn. Oh, we might even live to tell the tale. Okay, so I think Crackthorn is going to come down defensively. I'm going to slot it into double collection. But I am going to Crackthorn... Yeah, I'm going to Crackthorn from this position. So let's see what happens. That's fine. Okay, so yeah, we'll slot this into double collection. We will take the Elderwood Embrace. And we'll clear this out. No, we'll pass. So we have an 8-3 representing 8 damage next turn. Now, the Sagami Warrior does get to hit us, taking us down to 14. I guess the only issue is now there's a mountain here, there can be a lot of defensive cards coming down. So you have a Crackthorn from Fos now. That's pretty good. Can I race? There's a 7/6. No, I can't race. I'm dead on board right now. And Horsemaster actually doesn't get me to this. So I'm going to be relying on removal here. Yeah, not looking good. A double Crystal Flower really messed me up. Look how much I lost as far as pressure goes when these 2 Crystal Flowers came down. I mean, I have the Horsemaster clear push 8, but then I take 7. 3, yeah. So there's lethal just here. I guess I could have developed a land and played a blocker. And then I could have Horsemastered. That's probably what the better line was. But I was looking for a Crystal Flower. Crystal Flower this. Then I could have Horsemastered, hit this, and pushed 8. And then I could have had a lethal on the following turn. But I think what should have been done here is I should have played a Forest. I should have played a Sagami. Maybe even move this down. Maybe move this here so I can Horsemaster it down next turn. I'm not sure. But yeah. That is going to be game for my opponent. And yeah, so good game there from Fos, you know, playing Crackthorn very well. Made a shift to Crackthorn after losing with Yellow Tempo. But luckily for us, you know, we're still at rank 5. But the sad thing is, I've lost my win streak. That's really sad. I like these win streaks. I like getting those extra stars. But we'll go into the next match and see how I perform there. Alright guys. Another match. Oh, we are the gatekeeper to this player's god rank. So we have to give him a good fight. We have to make sure he earns his god rank. 1 star away. Let's see what we're going up against. That's a mountain. Okay. So we have the Sagami Warrior. Amazing opening play. It's durable, it's dash, collects Faeria, 1 forest, can't go wrong. And that is a mountain into a brigand, so this is potentially combat. Then we can take a mountain. We have Horsemaster, so let's just chill here. And then if our opponent goes into this spot, we can double neutral. No, he's very brave. Let's see if the Gift of Steel comes down. Now it's going to be a Cypher follow-up. This card's a problem. So he's going to go up to 7 life if he kills my Sagami. Not sure how I feel about that. Now I could mountain on this spot here, and then I can move back, and then I could play Axe Grinder. Hope there's no Flame Burst. I could play like a Forest here. Oh no, I won't have any room. I'm a bit low on space at the moment. That's an issue. So the Explorers kind of messed me up a bit. Because I won't have anywhere to... I could double neutral actually and play the Horsemaster this side. Yeah, we're going to have to do this, because I need to kill this Cypher. I need to kill this Cypher cleanly and make sure it doesn't get out of hand now. And Horsemaster Cypher's Wrath is probably the best way I can do this. Going to double neutral, move straight into my lap. Come to me, Cypher. Don't Flame Burst my Axe Grinder. That's all I'm asking. Excellent. Alright, so now, unfortunately, we do have to make neutrals. I don't really want to. But it's the only way this is going to work. Cypher's Wrath first. Don't want it absorbing Axe Grinder's power. And then we can move to Sagami, and then we're done. So we could actually Forest here next turn if this gets Cypher's Wrath, and play another Sagami. As a way to collect off the right hand well. Ground Shaker. Oh, no Gift of Steel. That's really handy. And we picked up a Wood Elemental. Cannot complain. Yeah, we'll take this. And clear this guy out. And we could even Forest here. And then dash this Sagami Warrior into double collection. So we have a lot of creatures on board. 2 of them have 4 life. So Firestorm's not going to be a big issue here. So you might move here and clear, but it means this Ground Shaker isn't collecting unless this is removed. So Cypher's Wrath, move, collect, clear, and then we can use the Wood Elemental to clear. But we have Crackthorn as well next turn, and I can dash Crackthorn into an aggressive position. I could take a mountain here and then get a Crackthorn right next to his orb. So is it going to be a Cypher's Wrath? If I draw a Horsemaster, I can double neutral. Horsemaster this over and clear. So many options. Alright, Elderwood. Oh, wow, that's really good. So now I want to develop the mountain in this spot. I'll take the clean trade. That's fine by me. We'll take Crackthorn. No, I'm still going to play this aggressively, I think. Clear this guy out. Yeah, let's Elderwood the Crackthorn. So we're just making sure this is durable and this is going to deal damage next turn. Applying as much pressure as possible. There we have it. Our opponent can see. So that's a lot of pressure to deal with. Especially since we're playing against mono red and all our creatures had increased life. So unless there was a lot of removal in hand, and even if you were to react to the board with a lot of removal as a red player there, you're probably not developing enough creatures to contest whatever creature I have left and pass an initiative back to me. And then if I was to play another Crackthorn, or if I was playing like an Axe Grinder or a Sagami or a Wood Elemental, I'd have initiative again, and then my opponent would be back on the back foot. So no surprise to see a surrender there. Let's go into our next game. Alright guys, I'm going up against Sunkichi, a God Ramp player, rank 32. And this could be a tough match. Sunkichi is a monthly cup participant and probably one of the top players of his region, which I believe is Japan. I believe he's... Let me just double check, just to make sure. Tsunkichi is from Japan. Yes, so one of the top Japanese players. Very regular in the monthly cups as of recent. So it's very cool to see Tsunkichi do well. We're going to play the Horsemaster here as a collector. We just want to start harvesting Faeria and applying pressure to the board. I love using Horsemaster for its utility, but sometimes you just have to... You can't get the most out of your forward creature's ability. Sometimes you just need to collect Faeria. In the early game, it's definitely worthwhile. So Tsunkichi checking out the Horsemaster, seeing what he's up to. Let's see what Tsunkichi gets up to. I'm actually going to check on my other account, Aquablud. And at this point, I'm rank 10 on God. I'm tied with Gospade. Now, the elo difference is insane. There's like 15 elo between there and between me and Gospade and Dompork, who's at rank 7. That's why I've been playing this account, just to keep my standings on the God rank. Oh, so this looks like it's going to be ramp. So the one way I like to play against ramp is to just really accelerate quickly up here. Problem is, I'm going to have to play Ground Shaker just to stop the collection. But it also gives me a collector. So I'm thinking next turn, I probably go Wood Elemental into Mountain and just shimmy everything up. And then I can take a Mountain here on the follow-up turn and then drop the Axe Grinder. And then I'm fully applying pressure. And luckily for me... No, I spoke too soon. I was going to say, luckily for me, there's been no land ramp. There is a Wood Elemental. And he still has the Explore left. Hasn't used the Explore yet, so there is a Burst of Faeria if Tsunkichi wants it. Oh, and a lake. Oh, right, yeah, I'm way behind. So yeah, we're gonna have to do it this way, unfortunately. Oh no. I needed to do the Wood Elemental into the... I messed that up. So we're gonna actually put this here. Just move this up. Sad times. So now actually Ground Shaker can move here, then I can play Mountain, and I can play Axe Grinder. But it's really important in this matchup to apply as much pressure as possible. Unfortunately, my Horsemaster got sniped by the spider, which meant I couldn't play the Wood Elemental follow-up. Sad times, but it happens. Frog Tosser as well. I'm not gonna have enough Faeria. Well, I can move down, clear this Cyphus Raft, take the Mountain. I can double Cyphus Raft? Alright, we'll take the Mountain. We'll clear this out. And we'll Cyphus Raft this guy. Now, I'd like to have Ground Shakered there, but I didn't have the Faeria, and I didn't want either of these collecting any additional Faeria. You wanna make sure the blue-green ramp players are as starved as possible. It's far more difficult when they go down the opposite side. I may have misstepped a little bit after I had my Horsemaster cleared. Maybe I needed to make that shift. But I might actually just double neutral now. And then I can move this into double collection, play the Axe Grinder, and go from there. There is an Octopus. He's a 5/5. Okay, so my Axe Grinder can challenge this, which is fine. Take the double neutral. Now I could play the Ground Shaker instead, but my only issue is, I don't know. I mean, Ground Shaker's actually pretty good here. Yeah, I think we go. Yeah, I think we go Ground Shaker actually, because it doesn't die to the Shifting Octopus. Most of these blue-green ramps, and touch wood on this, don't run power-ups. Now, I've seen some that do, I've seen some that don't. There's a lot of different ways you can build blue-green ramp. You can build libraries, you can build power-ups, all sorts of things. The only issue I have with playing this here is a bit more aggressive, but it makes my defensive lines a bit worse, because obviously Axe Grinder is much better here. Okay. Is there a power-up? Just tell me, Sunkichi. Are you running power-ups? Because every time I read, I'd be like, there's not a power-up. There usually is. Now, there could just be a whale. A whale would be very disappointing. There's actually a tree of life next turn. I'm just going to completely clear it out. So just relieving that pressure on the orb. And I respect that. But the pressure is going to continue. There is a tree coming. There could be a tree coming down next turn. Could play it here. Could play it here. Lots of good spots. I can't cover them all. So I think I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope there is no tree. So this can move, make land, and I can Horse Master potentially. But like I said, if a tree comes down here, I probably just play an Axe Grinder next turn, double collect, and play Cypher's Wrath. Then I have Elderwood Embrace to finish off the tree. If a tree comes on this side, I can move up Mountain Axe Grinder, and then Cypher's Wrath. And then I can hit the tree next turn with the Elderwood Embrace. So I have ways to deal with it. It's just, it could be awkward. It depends what else comes down. Right, +1 into tree. I wanna say. Oh, we could take my Axe Grinder spot. That's really smart, actually. +1 into tree. So if tree comes down on this spot, it's much more difficult for me to answer. Or we can move here and place it right in the middle. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. Yeah. This is not good, guys. So now all these are useless. They don't do it. Might as well move into double collection. Slot this over. So this is probably over, I want to say. Yeah, this match is probably over, but it does depend on what gets hit by the Tree of Life. A Frog Tosser is going to be the most terrifying creature I'll encounter. And again, I think it comes down to how I played my second turn. I didn't shift over to the opposite side. It's much easier to manage the Tree of Life if you're going down the same side as your opponent. But that doesn't stop your opponent from shifting sides halfway through with Land Ramp and then dropping the Tree of Everlife. So there are ways that your opponent can get around that as well, but you have a much better chance of dealing with the tree if you do go down the same side. A spider would be pretty brutal as well. All is quiet on the islands in the Oversky. Sunkichi making his decisions. Yeah, that's rough. Taunt and jump, probably? Yeah. +1. Pass. So I have another Crackthorn. I can actually follow this Crackthorn up. Could go Mountain here. And just dash this Crackthorn into this spot. Stop powering up my Ground Shaker. He doesn't need any power-ups. There we go. Okay, so I am challenging the Tree of Life now. It may very much come down to me drawing a Horse Master. It also will come down to what removal my opponent has for the Crackthorns. But if there is a Frog Tosser, I'm going to be in so much trouble. It's probably going to be unwinnable from that point, but we'll ride it out. We'll see how it goes. That's pretty bad too. Let's take a draw. See, how do I deal with this? I'm never going to kill this. I'm never gonna kill this. I have to trade here. Well, I can actually double Elderwood, but it doesn't really achieve that much. I only go up to 8 attack. I don't even scratch this Willow. So I'm just gonna say this game's over. Like, a 15-21 Willow is something that Crackthorn just can't deal with at Crystal Flower. But I guess the other issue is, like, how do I ever get to the tree? I guess I have the crystal. I guess I have crystal flowers. And I really needed to draw one. Because if I had drawn a crystal flower, then I could have crystal flowered this. I then could have Elderwood Embrace, clear the tree, then hit for 6. But I didn't get one. And that is the issue here. I kind of wish I had a forest now instead of a mountain. Because I could have played... It doesn't quite work. Alright, let's clear this. Let's just play an axe grinder here. And then we'll pass. So we're kind of hoping... Well, I'm hoping I take I take my draws next turn. Nothing gets removed. I draw Horsemaster and I draw Flower. And then I can... This will move down into the middle to block from both ways. I then flower this. God knows where. Over here, probably. And then use Horsemaster to rush over with my Crackthorn Beast and hit this. I can't even kill this with my Axe Grinder. So I think he's identified that even if I did have horse... Oh, it depends. Like, if he moves Living Willow to kill my 6/6 and doesn't kill the Axe Grinder, or doesn't have a taunt... Oh, that's going to be an octopus. I can smell it. Oh my goodness. This is painful. I didn't even draw it in the end. So there is a flower. Okay, so I have time, I guess. I have the potential. I'm gonna play a Sagami here. So make sure if this gets Frog Tossed now, I can use the Sagami to collect off the bottom well. Next turn, the plan is Elderwood and clear. But all he needs to draw is a Spider or a Tosser, and that plan is completely ruined. And this has already done enough damage, I think. Actually, I want to draw Horsemaster next turn. If this doesn't die. Could be a whale? I don't know. And all hope is lost. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh no, the pain, guys. I am hurting on the inside right now. Yeah. All right, then that's gonna be it. I think we'll leave this episode of Deck Pilot there. I don't want to encounter that again. But we got to rank 5, and I'm pretty happy with that. If you'd like to see me carry on this climb, be sure to check me out on Monday. And I'll be playing from 1 PM CST, 1 PM BST, 2 PM CEST. And I'll be climbing with this account all the way to God rank, starting on Monday on twitch.tv/Aquablud. So be sure to check that out if you'd like to see my climb continue. But that wraps up Deck Pilot. So that wraps up this episode of Deck Pilot. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We had some great matches, especially the one against Sunkichi. I had so many ways I could have won that game if I had drawn the right cards, but unfortunately, it did not happen. If you're looking for a consistent list to play on the ladder and climb some ranks, I'd strongly recommend this Crackthorn deck. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to drop it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, drop a subscribe to keep up to date of when our content goes live. Check out Deck Doctor if you haven't. This is a 2-part series, Deck Doctor, Deck Pilot. If you're new to the game or just want a refresher on Crackthorn or on this list in particular, check out that episode of Deck Doctor. There's also an episode of Card Spotlight, taking a look at the Wood Elemental with some games with my mono green Tree of Everlife list. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time and enjoy Green Red Crackthorn.